Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new day-to-day nice little gossip session when it comes to Microsoft and big legal laws, lawsuits, and everything all in between. Now, as I'm sure you guys might be even getting bored of hearing this, but it's kind of crazy because there's just brand new stories now all the time, and especially when it involves like government bodies and also Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation, all of that, we're getting a lot more information, a lot of like back and forth going on, and it's, at least in my opinion, actually really entertaining to go and talk about. So we're going to talk about the fact that we have brand new now statements and basically callouts from the FTC and Microsoft's battle, and as well kind of see more viewpoints and kind of just a lot of back and forth. I believe there's also even more information that came out, like this was a huge court doc, so we might even also cover this maybe tomorrow for some Christmas news as well, so be on the lookout for that. I just want to give you guys a quick heads up to make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the last minute subscriptions for the giveaway too, for the PS5, Xbox, or $500 cash. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Target links as well, and Amazon links too. And let's go and dive into the hoopla of lawyers making bajillions of dollars. So obviously, the realest quick history recap ever. Xbox trying to buy Activision, trying to buy Call of Duty, PlayStation no likey, Switch kind of indifferent, Steam going with the flow, and other bodies like Google, Apple, etc. also not happy because they're pretty much Microsoft's main biggest competitors in one way or another. And obviously the government bodies such as the United States and UK and Europe are way more skeptical and do not want a monopoly. Other countries are more okay with it so far, and that's pretty much where we're at so far in this timeline. So now we actually had Microsoft go and officially respond now to the FTC's lawsuit. Now, the FTC is a huge government body and basically wants to stop antitrust and monopolies, and they had a huge call out from Microsoft a few days ago. We covered the news on the channel. And obviously, if you like this news, make sure you guys subscribe and try my best to keep on top of it. So now Microsoft had a chance to kind of prove its point and give it off some official statements, so we're going to talk about this over here, where Microsoft officially responds to FTC's lawsuit against the Activision Blizzard acquisition, where Microsoft's official response summarily denies all of FTC's complaints. Interestingly enough, obviously, if you want to go and buy out and spend all this money on a huge company, you're going to want to go and, well, to go and not have it go through, you know? So basically, what you need to know, we're going to talk about that first and deep dive in. 2 weeks after the FTC announced its intention to move to block Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, Microsoft has now officially refiled its response. So it has to all be like approved in the court of law before anything either gets canceled, delayed, or just actually approved. So that's a big thing to know. So if the judge and everyone who's kind of involved in this also agrees with the FTC, well, guess what? They're not going to have a chance to buy Call of Duty. But as well, you always have the chance to argue your case back and forth with a lot of lawyers, and it does take a long time because you have to have these lawyers write up these like 50-page documents. Then you also have to have the other party respond, which gives them time to then once again they have to look at the 50 pages, respond to the 50 pages, and then turns to 75 pages, and you guys can see how it kind of ties on in. So the response summarily denies now that of all of the FTC's complaints, they do not basically hold merit, and Microsoft is trying their best to be like, nah, all this that you're saying is not true. And this also again lays out Microsoft's strategy for acquiring Activision Blizzard and their rough plan, and the response basically also restates that Microsoft does intend to keep Call of Duty truly multi-platform, including bring it to Switch, and also highlights how important mobile games are to Microsoft, which is also an impending deal, and also kind of a big part of like the next future expansion. So to kind of really break this down really quick before we get in the nitty-gritty, PlayStation doesn't want it. They want to keep that PlayStation like as number one. They don't want to lose games like Call of Duty, but as well other games too might be impacted. And on top of that, any future games in development, mobile as well, a lot of these big things. Activision is one of the biggest publishers and distributors of video games. You lose that, you lose access to a lot of stuff. And then obviously Switch Pro rumors also keep on tying on in. So it's very intriguing because so far, some governments are saying this is too much of a monopoly. Some other companies are saying that too, but it's in their best interest, while Microsoft is on the opposite, but it's also in their own best interest. So it's well known at this point that Microsoft is attempting to acquire storied video games publisher Activision Blizzard in a landmark deal worth nearly $69 billion. Microsoft is certainly confident its ability to complete the deal has still undergone scrutiny from a variety of governments and organizations. The latest to challenge the deal is the USA's Federal Trade Commission, but Microsoft has now filed its official response to the FTC. 2 weeks ago, the FTC announced that it's suing to block Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition, confirming early reports hinting at it. Now, the FTC's complaints appear to primarily hinge around the Xbox and Windows PC exclusivity of upcoming Bethesda software titles such as Starfield and Redfall, as reasons that Microsoft cannot be trusted with a vast library of IPs resting under the Activision Blizzard umbrella. Basically kind of goes to show that they'll just explode, they'll have massive sales and massive games and everything in between. Despite the European Union refuting the FTC's errant claims that Microsoft promised not to make future Bethesda titles exclusive following the company's acquisition of ZeniMax Media, the FTC has moved then forward with its own complaints, saying Xbox anticipates that 3 future titles, redacted, so not being public, all of which are designed to be played primarily alone or in small groups, will be exclusive to Xbox and PCs. So basically trying to say, like, yeah, we have a few exclusives, but it's not that much. And while that might be an issue, like, look at Sony. Sony has a bajillion different exclusives and just came out with God of War, Final Fantasy 16, etc., etc. Well, Microsoft admits that 3 future Bethesda titles, one of which may be actually unannounced, will be exclusive to Xbox and Windows PC on Game Pass, etc., as continue to wholeheartedly support multi-platform games such as Fallout 76, The Elder Scrolls Online, and also Minecraft. So they're basically trying to go push like, hey, we're still helping and supporting this out. We don't have to have devs doing this. It's still making the money, obviously, but they're trying to be like, yeah, we've had good faith already. So interesting to kind of go and know. Now, also future first-party Xbox game titles such as Minecraft Legends will also be available on competing platforms too as well, which is kind of cool also on top of Xbox and Windows. So they have been already like somewhat truthful that they are trying to support other regions and other games and other competitors. I mean, they're still making money, but it's like a 50-50. So Microsoft's official response to the action once again summarizes the same talking points that Microsoft has been reiterating since the acquisition was announced, starting with the introduction that calls out the FTC's motivations for moving to block the deal. Giving consumers high-quality content in more ways at a lower prices is what the antitrust laws are supposed to promote, not prevent, Microsoft response states. And they're going hard. They're swinging at the government at this point. They're going hardcore on this one. So they basically want to say they want to have Call of Duty on more platforms, try their best to have good competitions with Game Pass, and if PlayStation really wants to compete, they got the money, they got the billions of dollars, they got to compete. So Microsoft has repeatedly claimed that it intends to bring Activision Blizzard's games to more players. So they actually want to expand and bring more out to other folks, not less. For one, the company confirmed in earlier statements by Microsoft Gaming Phil Spencer that the primary focus of the acquisition isn't even Call of Duty or any other AAA franchises, they just really want the mobile games, with King, a member of the Activision Blizzard group, representing over a third of the company's overall revenue. So games like Candy Crush and other mobile games, yeah, they just want to go and chime into that and expand in the mobile market because they know in like India, China, America, like the youth of America, that they're basically going to be spending money in ads. Microsoft is buying Activision to meet the billions of gamers who choose to play on mobile devices. So they don't even want to worry about PlayStation. They don't even want to care about the Switch. They want to be like, no, let's go get on the App Store. Let's have our own individual App Store. Let's go and expand from mobile side, which I agree on. To also learn how to make games that appeal to and engage them and expand out their player base, and also maybe get more people on Game Pass, Microsoft stated. Xbox also wants to make Activision's non-mobile games more broadly available. The response continues, referencing Microsoft's continued commitment to not only keep Call of Duty multi-platform, but to even bring it to even more people, more players. They also did have, as you guys know, their commitment to bring it to Switch and Nintendo Switch for at least 10 years, and has also attempted similar deals to Sony, although Sony's playing hardball. They've also continued to be a focal point in Sony's efforts to combat the impending deal, with the company claiming that Microsoft is aiming to hurt competition by taking Call of Duty away from competing platforms as well, and they keep on trying to say, no, this is not it. A few companies primarily located abroad exercise outsized influence in this industry. Xbox is not one of them. I think that's a lie, though. Xbox is Xbox. We all know Xbox. They have a lot of pull, a lot of push, a lot of shove. The response states, Xbox consoles lags well behind Sony's and Nintendo's. True, but they also will focus on Game Pass, and Game Pass sales have been doing very well. And also, we haven't seen what will happen after Call of Duty and all these other popular console games go on console. While Xbox publishes games for console and PCs, has far fewer popular exclusive games, but they have the 30 studios, they have the money, they're just not doing it for God knows why. They're trying to buy it instead. and Xbox has almost no presence in mobile gaming, which is also true too as well. I think the mobile gaming side should probably actually go through. So of course the deal would also see Activision Blizzard games land on Xbox Game Pass day one, joining many of the other various good games. But Microsoft insists that its gaming services make gaming more accessible and affordable, which I do agree with. I think it's always been nice and altruistic and very nice to see more people into gaming than anywhere else. But at the same time, other places just can't compete and small industries can't go and do anything too as well. If consumers agree with Xbox's vision, that will simply prompt more competition, including from companies like Sony, which have already had successful subscription services without even including its most popular and exclusive games. Now, I would love this at the end of the day if they were able to go and somehow get games like God of War on day one. Over here is like, okay, what's up? I would love to have them have God of War day one, or like Ratchet and Clank's day one, or at least have cheaper on PlayStation Plus, or then maybe the first 3 months or so. And if somehow this deal causes that to happen, I would say that's a win for PlayStation gamers. But as well, it's crazy to go and see how much scrutiny and how much fight is coming in from Xbox and the FTC and other government bodies, where they're just trying their best to be like, no, we'll try to get a good deal for everyone. Let's just get this go through. And the government's pretty anti-Microsoft from all their other prior acquisitions. So give me your thoughts and comments down below, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below, Target links down below, and of course, appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.